Coincidentally, my wife and I have been rewatching the 6 Star Wars movies lately. And during episode 2, I think it was, my wife just kind of casually asked me, "Oh, wait, is this the beginning of prequels? Did that even exist as an idea?" And I was able to tell her with some excitement, "No, this is the first time. Isn't that so cool? Like, we're just so used to that term prequel that we don't even know that it had to have an origin. Every saga has a beginning. And that was the beginning of the idea that you could watch something where you know the ending. So let's talk about this new thing by JID. Prelux. It's the same basic idea. Everyone does deluxes. He's doing a prelux. Now, the idea of a deluxe is you have your album, you have your big album, you have your tentpole album, and then you just kind of throw on the scraps. After you've released it, you try to just scrape a few more streams. You might tag it on to the end of the existing album so that you get more streams from there. And it's like a stream grab. It's okay, and it's usually pretty good. And if it's an artist that you love, you're really excited about it. But it can be sort of tiring. You know, you just kind of like, all right, I mean, I listened to the album for 80 minutes and now you want to give me 20 more minutes, and then it's like volume 1 and volume 2, and it's a dessert when you've already eaten too much. That's usually what it is. So what JID is doing here, this Preluxe to GDLU, which I guess means God doesn't love ugly, is he's giving you an appetizer. He's got a little hors d'oeuvre plate, and he's walking around, and it's one of those, like, you know, bacon wrapped scallops. It's one of the good ones. It's one of the ones that you wait for them to come around. Okay, it's not like a weird sort of, I don't know, kale kebab. It's like something really good that you're really excited about. And what's crazy about it is that it's so good. And I was already excited for this meal. I've already been talking about this album for a while. I've already been saying how this is maybe the album I'm looking forward to the most this year, except for the real Kendrick album, whenever that comes out. But, like, I didn't know how excited I was. I didn't know until I had this little amuse-bouche, until I had this little appetizer to be given. And this isn't going to be a part of the meal. This 17 minutes of just... I mean, I don't know if it's like perfect rap music, but it's really good rap music with really good rapping and really good beats. This is extra. This is a way better way to do it. I'm excited. Instead of trying to milk me for a couple more, fractions of a cent, which you can't blame people because there's no money in music. But instead of trying to milk you for every fraction of a second, that they are giving you something to get you excited. And that makes this another great rap rollout of 2025. Between the clips and this, we are having an amazing year of the summer 2025 getting really, 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 really hyped. And so we're really hyped for this young guy, JID, to release an album. I say that with kind of a joke because, like, you know, I've been doing this channel for 7 years, and I've kind of put him in that category of, like, young guy. But, you know, he's an adult now. He's definitely, but he has, like, I don't know, a young voice or I don't know what. But what I think we need to think about him is not as like a young guy. Obviously, he's had several great albums. But he is an example of this thing that we've been saying doesn't exist anymore. Particularly, I'm thinking about Read My Soul. Shout out to Read. The middle class. Like the middle class of rap music. We're talking about how there's just superstar and underground and superstar and underground and superground and understar. Superground and understar. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Thank you for auditing the Always Positive New Music Review Show. Hosted by a French professor who woke up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday to be able to record this. That's how excited I am. But that's how I said superground. So yeah, like we have it now. Just this year, we've had Joey Badass and his amazing rise. We have the excitement around the clips. We have this. That's to say nothing of Absol last year and Schoolboy Q. You know, we're really having this great rise of the middle class. And you can have no better indication than that than by the fact, and I don't know, I'm sure, okay, I might do a video on that new song by Drake. What's it called? Did I do that? No, what's it called? Pretending to be Asleep? What's that song called? Yeah, Pretending to be Asleep. I'm sure that will do well if I decide to do a video on that song. If I want all the clicks. But I don't know. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement around this, and I love it because it's excitement for just great rap. Now, I've been thinking about what is it that I like about JID, and I have, you know, a pretty extensive team here. I got my editor, who's just asleep, and I've got my graphics department. So I came up with this. The triometer. Is that up there on screen? I'm sorry about the sun. I'm probably going to get a sunburn. I know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm probably going to get a sunburn. That's just the way I am, whatever I say I am. Okay, this is the triometer. And you see, I think rappers, they fall into different categories. You got your not enough rappers. That might be, like right on the edge. A lot of the kind of southern kind of mumble rapper guys. Then you got your just enough. Then you have your enough. You're just straight down the middle. And then you're plenty of rappers. And you got your too much. Sometimes you got your too much. Whew, that's nice, that little shade there. Sometimes it's too much, and you know when it's too much. You know it's too much when there's too much rippity rapping, and there's too many entendres, and there's too many multisyllabic, mosaic stuff like that. I think that JID, I'm going to put him on this list, okay? I think JID is the absolute master right out here. Right out here. At the very edge of too much. Not too much. Not a much too much. But just at the very edge. He rides the line of too much. And I love it, how much he's doing here, because that's what's most exciting. It makes sense that he's on here with Eminem, who I would say a lot of his career over the last, since I started doing this channel and even before, he spends a little too much time on the other side of the too much meter. Just doing a little too much, lacking a little bit of dynamism, being too much. Okay, so that's what I feel this album is. I feel this, and again, it's 17 minutes. Who knows how long this video is going to be describing a 17-minute thing, but you just have to. When you hear this much good rapping at once, and you like talking about hip-hop music, you just have to give it time. So this is not part of the meal. And as much as that shocks me and upsets me, because that means he's going to be coming out with an album, I'll probably buy it on vinyl, and this probably won't be on it, because who has a Preluxe? This appetizer, it's not about anything. This is not about anything. There's nothing on here that's about anything. This isn't like his last album, which was, I called it, I think, a bologna sandwich opera. You should check it out. It was good. It was one of my better videos from a couple years ago. This is not about anything. This is about effort. This is about trying. This is about making rap music and making good rap music and being a good rapper and the joy of rap. It is just joyful from the second you press play until the second you let it start over again so you can hear the first song, because it's only 16 minutes long, but you gotta, what do you kids say, stop capping. You didn't pick up everything on the first listen. Like, it is about the joy. It is just bubbling. And maybe that's what it is that we like so much about JID. There's a lot to like about him, but he has so much joy in the way that he raps. And again, ending with Eminem is fascinating because you don't always get that sense from him. He has the talent, he has the skill and everything. But I think back to the Crazier verse from the Absol album last year. Just those two guys, you just feel like they could not be possibly having more fun. Screwface Jean has 10 times as many subscribers as I do, which is good and proper. So I assume you watch his stuff too. But I will not do as good of a job as he does at communicating that joy. I think Screw is alone. I think he's alone in the reactor game. He's not the only good reactor, but he's alone in his ability to communicate joy with a level of knowledge and and wisdom behind it. I don't know, but watching him listen to this music is that's how I feel, which is what a good reactor will do. So we got 4 songs, 1 solo, 1 dolo, and then 3 guest appearances. And it's funny, I just realized that all 3 guest appearances were on this channel in the first month. So Lil Yachty was my 21st video. Terrible video. Don't watch it. It's terrible. It's unwatchable. It is the most Go over there and just drop a tomatoes on there. Terrible. Black or Six Lack was my 6th video. I was trying. I was really trying to understand new music back then. 7 years ago, I had no idea what was going on. And then, of course, my first video ever was Eminem. So that's kind of interesting and fun to see how that's developed. So let's go through the tracks. Let's start off with the track Behold. great. All the beats on here are good. They're mostly by someone named Cristo. I don't think he's related to the Chilean performance artist. I met him once, my brother's graduation. Cool kind of backwards curling sounds to start, like some blasted out voice box stuff, and then just goes right into just a tough beat. Just, I get the sense that the instruction for the producers were like, don't draw any attention. Don't be lazy, right? Like, hey producers, this is what we need from you, okay? We need in between just enough and enough. That's what we need, because the rapping is going to be so good. It's going to be so on point. It's going to be so filled with so many different lines that you want to rewind and think about and have a little, like the angels and devils on your shoulder. You want to have a little like Screwface Jean, just like jumping up and down and super excited and freaking out on your shoulder. So 1 second, I need to pause something. Sorry, I wasn't joking about the whole getting sunburned thing. So I'm just going to hang back in the frame a little bit while the sun rises. Listen, I got to work with what I got here. I don't have the good ring lights available right now. I can't record inside because I have too many children sleeping. Okay, so we got Behold. It's just this crazy awesome beat. He's able to speed up and slow down in his flow, and he begins right off with Behold, they say JID in GOD mode. Or JID in GOD mode. And so there's the idea. Behold, that's the main idea. He's just saying, welcome to the prelux, welcome to the meal. Sometimes if you go to a really nice restaurant, the first course that you get is going to be just really ambitious and very tasty, and it tells you what you're going to have. Okay, it's not a fucking bloomin' onion. It's going to be something really outstanding. So behold, even just saying it, he's like saying hark. He's using an intentionally archaic, fancy word. And then he goes into a 3-letter scheme. So JID is a 3-letter word. This whole thing is about the 3-letter. He's tying together JID and God. So he's making it the 3-letter thing that you're listening to is either about him or God. In this case, they're the same thing because he's in God mode. He's a God MC. How fast the EMT go. These flows keep their feet cold. The throne's getting repoed. So I talk a lot about rhymes on this channel, not as much as I'd like to, but a bunch. So it's a mosaic rhyme, which I've already mentioned. Mosaic rhymes is when one word rhymes, one multisyllabic word rhymes with 2 different words and syllables, right? The most famous example, escargot, my cargo by Biggie. This is a multisyllabic word where it's repoed. That's the word, like repossessed. Feet cold, repoed. I mean, it's just outrageous right here, right off the bat. While these folks playing musical chairs watch the seat fold, that's inventive and interesting and funny, right? You've played musical chairs before. I hated that game as a kid because I wasn't very fast and I wasn't ruthless enough. I'd always be sitting there on the outskirts, I'm a musical chairs loser. It's like a bad name of an emo band. Or a song. Watch these folks play musical chairs, watch the seat fold. It's seasonal, cheesy, artisanal, pardon me, garden knee is not feasible, he's undefeatable. Do you see what I'm saying here? Cheesy, artisanal, pardon me, garden me is not feasible, he's undefeatable. It's right there. It's right on the edge of too much, but it's not. I was listening to this album yesterday while I was making pancakes with my daughter, 4th of July pancakes, which are blueberries with a single raspberry on top. And she just said, I see a chickadee. I was like, hey, that's a mosaic rhyme. She doesn't understand what I was saying. But I see a chickadee. And the whole 3-letter, 3-line scheme. Good, I can move closer. The sun's not as intense. Right on the edge of the too much. Modifying the blick is a GMO, TMI. I knew if you knew what I knew, then probably you'd keep it low. Also, just a little word, because my wife is asleep, I might have woke her up. And we have a sort of cause. You need to understand that genetically modified organisms are good things that save lives. If you were to ban all GMOs, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people would die. But don't worry, they'd all be poor people. So just everyone chill, bro, on being against GMOs. All right, it's coming from a position of privilege. Look it up. Look up the enriched rice stuff they got going. It's really good. They're saving a lot of people from blindness. So, anyways. Corporate chill, Professor Sky. Like the bucket, smash it. Just do all the stuff to the bucket. If you don't know my channel, you don't know what that means. That's the like bucket. I want you to smash it. I want you to subscribe. Modifying the blick is a GMO, TMI. If you knew what I know, you'd probably keep it low. Chill, bro. Eagle eye, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, I think it's a UFO. It's real, bro. CGI, don't believe what they say. Ain't nothing I seen. 3 letters, another king about to reign supreme. Go get him. So it's on the line. He could do more 3 letters. There could be more in this scheme, but he does just enough to keep you thinking. He throws on these ad-libs to keep it light. It's beautiful. He takes a shot at Ye, a couple shots at Ye on this album. Try my best, my YS. I'm going to go crazy like Kanye West. It's kind of a slanted rhyme there. That's a pretty common theme, going crazy like Kanye. There have been a lot of songs this summer with that. Then we get to the song No Bread, No Better, produced by Christo. I don't know if he's a... What's the name of that channel? Isn't there a channel called... Bumblebee. Okay. Maybe there's a channel called Bumblebee, but isn't there a channel called Knowing Better? There is, right? Yeah, it's a good channel with the fork and the thing. Okay. Ominous Sonbet. And here it is with Yachty. And I just want to say this. I'm sick of the Yachty hate. Now, if you watch my 21st video, you'll see I did not understand Yachty at all back then. But I feel like the Yachty hate is going too far. I know. He stood by Drake during the beef. I get it. I guess that makes him bad or whatever. But I think people really need to appreciate who he is and that he's bringing something very interesting and sincere and different to rap music. You know, I know sometimes he might be over here in the not enough, just enough zone, but I think a lot of that time it's intentional. Anyways, his first verse is fine. I'ma shoot shit like a globetrotter. And then he's really there to deliver this chorus. If you knew better, you'd do better. And it leads into the JID verse. And what's crazy, this production here, shout out to Christo, like he has these like hi-hats that really stress you out because they're sort of like on the backbeat of these quarter notes, and it sets it sets a place for JID to just go crazy on this run of surface, certain, self-serve, circle, determined. It's still working, kitchen, curtain, arsenal, certain, verse and first and church. It's this whole kind of like earth run that he gets going on here. It's an amazingly skillful verse. And when he says, so I'm putting it in a verse, you're hearing it first, see you at church. Do you know what you want to do? You want to do the whole thing. You want to do the Screw Fajon thing where you just go, oh, and you stand up, you say, rap is a sport. I got some new merch, right? Like that's what you want to do. You get so excited. But do you know who does it for you? Yachty. Because Yachty comes on with a, oh, no one else. No one else in rap music can do a better oh than he does right here. You tell me in the comments. And Yachty comes back. And what's great about these guest appearances is you don't get the sense that they're just like, okay, here's my 16, money please, right? It's not that. It's not transactional. This feels artistic because he comes back to do more in the back half. I'm shooting the shit. I'm Stojakovic. I could never switch up. I ain't Doncic. Sorry, I'm pronouncing it properly. As Screw Fajon will tell you, and as anybody who observes JID will tell you, some of the best, most intelligent, best developed sports verses in rap come from JID. And so here's Lil Yachty bringing up Peja Stojakovic. That's pretty cool. I mean, he's not that obscure, but if you went on the streets and said who are the best shooters in the history of the NBA, they'd be like Curry, Bird, okay, and they'd probably just kind of phase out there. Stojakovic might be the best pure shooter in the history of the game. And then bringing up Doncic, how many Doncic lyrics are there right now? All of them. Every lyric in rap in 2025 is about Doncic. And I like it because it's about switching up. There's so many different ways of talking about it. And then JID just comes back because he's got rhymes for days. Looking for angels, all I could see was the cranes in the sky and the vision that God, my brothers and sisters and ancestors combined another plane. It's playing with my mind. We stand at the dawn of a new era defined by 3 letters coming back. So who trying to define the word? I turn this bitch into fireworks right now. Fuck the 4th of July. He drops it on the 4th of July and he says what I feel. I'm not a big fan of 4th of July this year. I don't really like celebrating ideals that I feel have been betrayed. But what are you going to do? Did I make burgers? I made burgers. They were fine. A little overdone. Then we get to Lisa, produced by Little Island, a really kind of faraway sample. When we keep talking about JID, what makes him so great is how close he gets to this too much line. So he has a number scheme, right? He goes into a scheme with numbers. And it's like he keeps on saying 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 to get you set. And he says 1, 2, 1, 2 before the 3, like 2, 3 when it hits third. That 9-2, that 9-3 season crowned a new king. So like 2-3 when it hits third is like, I suppose that means like Jordan when he hits third gear, 92-93 season when he was crowned a new king, because that was after like the previous generation officially retired and he was the new king of basketball. More prime time in the lines, I'm fine in a press defense, isolated on the island with Selassie. My new target, Lisa Leslie, looked like Lisa Left Eye. So he's like talking about press, like full court defense and basketball. And he's talking about Lisa Leslie. Like, is she the GOAT of the WNBA? I think she is, right? These sports are very, very developed. And then Six Lack comes in. And I know it's black. I know it's pronounced black, but I call him Six Lack because I'm an old man. What do you want from me? Kind of a cool auto-tune spoken, kind of singing, kind of not. He sort of helps to bring down even this little tiny project that is just an appetizer, just an amuse-bouche. Even this little thing here has structure to it. And this is the little pause before you get to the last song. And then the second verse is just incredible because he starts off the first verse with numbers and now he says, do the math. I ain't great with that. I found a way with words, just a wayward son that made his way out from the dirt. The road was unpaved through the pain and hurt. We showed up unscathed. So he's got like an internal rhyme scheme with made his way and then through the pain and then showed up unscathed and road was unpaved. Road was unpaved, showed up unscathed. That's the sound of the garbage truck going by. Not because this verse is not garbage. That's why it's driving by, because there's no garbage in this verse. Then the sample, I don't know. I looked it up. I'm not going to sample snitch. I will say it was used fairly recently by someone else, but I'd never heard it before that. And then he has this sort of bitterness at not being considered at the top. I ain't mad at none of you. This shit's amusing. It's just music, and I love it, so I lose it when they leave me out the loop of who's the truest, who's who, and I'm just here like, yoo-hoo! My ex-mother-in-law apparently on her, during her honeymoon, was like flirting with some guy. And apparently the thing she famously said to him was, yoo-hoo! So I think of that. And then we get to Animals Part 1. Super well-made beat with some backward sounds, ghostly cool, low bass. Again, everything, all the beats here, you cannot, I think they're capable of being over here, but they have to be just enough and enough. And Screw did such a good job of breaking this down that he even highlighted the one lyric that I really wanted to highlight, but I still have more things to add, okay? So, numbers are important, all right? So I thought, maybe this video will do well. Maybe I'll get some motion. So what I thought I would do is I would do a little bit of research. I'd do a little bit of hard-hitting research. What I did was I counted all the words in this song. 1,751 words. That's one word for every year they've been alive. So like 1,751 words in 348 seconds. That means there's 5 words per second. And about a fifth of those words are more than one syllable. Have you tried saying 5 words in 1 second? I can count to 6 in 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about it. And they do 5 words, and many times it's multisyllabic. Absolutely insane, because it's also listenable and enjoyable. We are really out here, though. Sometimes we're tipping over. Sometimes we're going over. And what I like about it is that it starts right off with JID. And like Screwface says, hip-hop is a sport. I say it's a competitive art, okay? It's a slight difference in terminology there and general perspective, but same basic idea. You ever compete with somebody and you're trying to like figure out what their level is? You know, like if you're playing ping pong against somebody and like you're good at ping pong, you don't just sit there and like do some kind of crazy, and you're at a family reunion. You don't sit there and do some kind of like crazy serve that most people wouldn't be able to respond to. You just kind of hit it over. You know, and then the other person kind of hits it back, and you sort of like play around with each other until you sort of see where maybe one of you will kind of do a little extra shot, or maybe put a little bit of English on that, just give a little spin to that puppy, and all of a sudden, like, oh, okay, it's that kind of game, is it? And you kind of throw it back a little bit, and then they like do a little drop shot, and you're like, all right, you son of a bitch, I'm just trying to have a nice time here, a drop shot, but I'm not gonna lose this point. I'm not gonna lose this point, Roxy. So you like, you just like slam it, and then all of a sudden it's absolutely on. And you realize you're not trying to like find each other's levels. You're trying to kill each other, right? Or whatever. If you're at an arcade, back when I used to play Mortal Kombat 3 a lot, way back in the day, and I was really good at it. And if someone would come in and they put 50 cents down, I'm going to win, but I'm not going to just kill you. Like I'll just see where you are. Oh, you're gonna do a little Cyrax thing. You're gonna do a little. Okay, I might grab you. Oh! You might try to. Oh, you're gonna try to cheese me with the sweep kick. All right, then it's on. But like, you see where people are. To me, this feels like JID is coming right out, and he is the first serve. He's 10 feet back, and he's throwing so much topspin on the thing. The ball goes behind his head and onto the table. It is just like Eminem, JID, fight. It is just that. Just bam, right off the bat. He is just going so hard. It's so much. It's 1,751 words in the song. That's a lot of words. Words and words and words and words. Look alive. They've been living a lie. I never believed the song that said they could fly. The last I seen tried it, did it, and died. And what does JID do better than Eminem is he gives us breaks. A dreadlock Ness monster. Goofy, funny line. And then comes back. And he even like pays homage and homage to Eminem. Like he has Eminem-like verses. Like Eminem's primary, there was a time where every song Eminem wrote was about sticking people in the trunk of his car, right? Just murdering them and sticking them in the trunk of the car. So here he's talking about putting the money in the back of the car. They put it in a bag in the back of the trunk. I heard a thump, 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 banging the bass. I'm breaking the bread, the breakfast. I'm bringing the bacon, slanging the sausage, cracking the egg over your face. I'm half amazing, half man, and half alien. Which, of course, I think is an homage, not to Nas. Okay, it's to Nas as well. But I also hear Dr. Octagon, half sharkigator, half man, half shark, half alligator, half man. If you don't know that, you're welcome. But what does he do? He slows it down. He takes it. Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to NPR this fine morning. You might hear the sounds of the red-winged blackbirds and crows off in the trees. Today we're going to be discussing JID and Eminem, their song Animals. He's able to like break it up and then go slowly. And the slower he goes, the better the rhyming gets. Yeah, patience been paper thin. I plant a flag every place I'm in. Rapping erratic, righteous, and ratchet, because that's what's happening from the mountain so loud I could start an avalanche. Okay, the 1,705, whatever, the 5 words per second include words like erratic, righteous, ratchet, happening, mountains, avalanche. How is he possibly doing this? The slower he gets, the cooler it gets. I do a thing sometimes to impress my students whenever they seem bored, which is a thing that you can't do. It's point to your thumb without raising the other thumb, okay? And it's really impressive to be able to do this fast. But the most important thing is to be able to slow it down, because it doesn't matter how slow you try to do this, you can't do this. You can't do it fast. You can't do it slow. But the slower I do it, the more my mastery is shown. Do you want to see what you look like right now? That's what you look like right now. Okay, that's what we all look like listening to JID. Beautiful. And there's this whole line about if I get into a beef, it's going to be biblical. Mama said mentality breathes into a seed of success, and I'm between it, but best believe I ain't perceiving no threats. With allegiance, alliance, leave me out, y'all shit. I'm lying, relax. I think this is a reference to my favorite Eminem verse, which is his verse on my favorite Notorious B.I.G. album, which is Born Again. Don't buy it. We don't want to support the person who gets most of the money from that album. But hey, find it somewhere. This many different levels to man Eminem, and it's a beautiful verse. And he says, I got a line in my pocket, I'm lying. I got a 9 in my pocket, and baby, I'm dying to cock it. All right? And so I think he's saying I'm lying. I think it's reference to that, because JID also obviously knows rap. You know the facts of the sleeping giant align me with that. Goliath's a bitch, hit with a rock in a sack, ride with a stick, flip it a rock and a weight. Nothing too hard to predict. You know, shit's been hard where you at it, but if I lost you, then I bring it back. And then we get Eminem's verse. Eminem, much like my cousin Roxy, was not up to this game. He didn't. He wasn't. He wasn't. Just, you know, listen. Came close. But at the family reunion in 2000, I was, for that day, the man. Sure, he's a world-famous artist on display at the Whitney in the Museum of Modern Art. But I beat him at a game of ping pong once. and that's what this is. I love it because I think JID is showing his deference, his respect for Eminem. And Eminem's verse is great. It's awesome, but it's just not the JID verse. It doesn't have the dynamism. It doesn't have the punches. But do you know what it does have? Eminem is a rapper who used to do something a lot, which was shock and offend the fuck out of you. He would say things that would make you just go, oh, man, come on, man. That's not cool. And that's what he's doing here. The Kanye verse, going after Kanye for the thing he said about his cousin and really going after it, that's hard hitting. The Death to Some Shady album, I was pretty harsh on that because it was like, oh, wow, are you going after trans people? Whoa, dude, you're so transgressive. Wow, I've almost heard something this offensive just waking up, just turning on the frickin' news, you know? But here, he's just perfectly relentless. He's great. You did good, Eminem. Good job, dude. Seriously, you kept up with JID pretty well. You didn't beat him. Like a sleeping cow, I'm bulldozing. It's all right. It's okay, Em. No one's questioning your place in rap. These are my Patreons. They give me money so that I can do this kind of fun horse hockey. So thank them. You can join my Patreon. I'm going to be doing a thing where I'm going to grade all the albums that I've reviewed this year, like actual grades, because I don't do grades or stuff like that, because I don't want you to just reduce what I do to be like, oh, what did he give it? What did he give it? You know? So you can join up on Patreon and see that. That's coming soon. Going to be doing an Eric the Architect video over there soon. Catch up. That's pretty cool. So thank you to all these folks. These are my super subscribers. If you don't want all the commitment of Patreon, you could also help me out by being a super subscriber on YouTube, like these folks. All right. Well, then, I hope I hit record. Oh, thank God. I was like, did I not hit record after I had to do the sun thing? All right, there's the camera.